Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any watching. Um, so this is tag templates on Tuesday, and we are on template number 7. Once again, I did find this on YouTube, so it's not my own idea. I have changed it up a little bit for this one. So I'm going to call this one the rule of thirds. So it's template number 7, the rule of thirds. And rather than draw it on this template, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make one and then give it a go, see what you think. There might be some rummaging going on because I might not have everything out that I need. I often forget stuff. So yeah, let me just get straight to it today. I am going to be using some of the lovely bits that Vicky sent me in the round robin. One of them was this masterboard. So I'm going to blindly cut it to make a tag. So I'm going to turn it over, squiz it around a few times. So I don't know what I'm going to end up with. And I think today's tag, I think I'm going to do quite a larger tag today. So it's going to be 3 wide. And 6 long. Let's go for that. Let me see what I've ended up with. Oh, I quite like that. That's really nice. So I'm going to use that for the back of my tag. So I'm going to turn it over and then I'm going to turn this into my base for my tag. So like last week, I still haven't managed to find I have got a punch that does the top of this, so they're nice and equal. And so let's just do that. There we go. So there's the base of my tag. I'm just going to round those bottom corners. There we go. Right, so the rule of thirds. So when I mean the rule of thirds, I'm talking about turning the tag into 1/3 and 2/3. So I'm going to start by, again, this was a nice dyed piece of, I don't know what the language is. Maybe Vicky could answer in the comments. So I'm just going to do a bit of rough tearing. That didn't go as well as I thought it was going to go. Yeah, that's okay. So I'm just going to pop some glue stick. This is still the good old Tesco's one. Did anyone else go out and buy one and is now working with one? Or do you think you might when you need to replace? And I'm going to stick that on top of there, like so. There we go. Right, once I've done that, I'm just going to turn it over and give it a trim so I can see where I am. So there's a little chilly here today. It's actually Monday. I'm doing the recording for this today because Mum and Dad want to take a trip to IKEA tomorrow. So I'm chauffeuring. Right. So I would say that's roughly about 1/3. And then I need to find something that I'm going to cover the bottom with. And I should have got this out sooner. Yeah, I was saying it's a little chillier here today. So I've actually had to put on my hoodie. rather than pop the heating on. Oh, Anne-Marie, what have you done with that? Ah, here it is. So I'm just going to rummage through some paper. She says, let's use some of that. I wasn't going to do a Harry Potter style one this time, but when I looked through the lovely bits that Vicky sent me, there's a nice focal point I can use, so I changed my mind. Right, I'm going to lose my glue book. Let's get this on there. Like so. Probably should have left round in those corners until after I stuck everything on. Just going to do that. Now you could scrunch this tissue paper. You could scrunch that tissue paper up. You know, give it a little bit of texture. But I'm trying to get this done in under 10 minutes. Last week the video was a bit longer than I intended. As was the week before, because I think I made a bit of a boob. So, you know, I'm not being particularly careful. These will be going into a junk journal. Oh, all sticky. Does everybody else's hands get really messy? Or is it just me? There we go. Right, so what I've done is I have covered this tag 1/3 in book page, 2/3 in tissue paper. You could have done it the other way round. I could have had the book page at 1/3 down there and the tissue paper up the top. So it doesn't really matter, but thirds, okay? Then what I would really like is just something across here to break up where the tissue paper is hitting the book page. I could use a bit of washi tape, actually. I'm not quite sure where that one is located. Let's have a quick look. I did have it here somewhere. I know you're probably all laughing because I'm so disorganised. Oh, I know what I'll do. Let's use one of these instead. So just to break up this line, change my mind, and I'm going to use a stamp out of this set. I think this might have been from, I think I might have got it from Amazon actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just ink there, just to break up where those sort of overlap. I'm not being precious about it. I don't want it perfect. I do, however, want it the right way up. So there we go. Right, that'll do. So I've just broken it up. You could have done it with a bit of washi. You could have done it with a thinner strip of paper. You could also have done it with a bit of ribbon or a little bit of lace. And then your focal point. So your focal point then needs to sit in thirds. So either 1/3 from here or 2/3 from here. You know, it is entirely up to you. I've got this great sticker, look, Dragon's Breath. Fits in really well with my Harry Potter journal that I'm making for March Madness that I've still not completed. But I'm just going to roughly cut off. I don't want the white edge. So I'm just going to roughly cut that off. It's a sticker. Thank you, Vicky. I'm sure she sent this round Robin with my journaling, that I'm making for March Madness in mind, because some of the stuff was just, it's going to be really helpful for when I finish it off. So doesn't, when I'm talking about the thirds, it doesn't really work with something that big. However, you sort of still set it out the same. So I'm just going to cut one of these off for you. So if this was a slightly bigger focal point, I'm talking about 1/3 here. So you've got 1/3 and your focal point, and then 2/3 left over. Or you could do it the other way. You could have 2/3 and then your focal point. This isn't big enough for a focal point, but I'm sure you're catching what I'm saying. So I don't want it in the middle. I'm going to, where do I like it? There. So I'm going to peel off the back. Oh, come on, Anne-Marie. Fingers. I'm going to pop it just there. Just trim off that little bit of excess there. Now, if I had all my inks to hand, do I have my inks to hand? Yeah, let's have a look. I think I'm going to actually, have I got any? There we go. What's that one? Forest green. I'm going to edge it. So rather than doing it in the good old vintage photo, is it vintage photo? I'm using forest green. Although it does look more like a turquoise when it sort of, maybe it'll dry back a bit better. Let's see. And then, as ever, I'll punch the top. About there. Now I did get, there it is. Oh, excuse me. There we go. This also, everything I've used today, apart from my tissue paper. So I'm going to use this. To go through that. Like so. I'll just give it a tie. But then I had a really cool bag of bits in with my round robin. Look at those. There's all sorts of things in there. So I thought I'd actually hang a bulb clip. So these are bulb clips. A bit like a paper clip, but shaped like a bulb. Attach that key on there. And then attach that to my ribbon or lace. There we go. I quite like that. So that one is template number 7 for Tags on Tuesday. Again, you could do this on a page, on a pocket. Use the template as part of your front cover. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do like and share it. And I'd love to see your makes. So come on over to Obsessed and Distressed Junk Journalers and share your pictures. It'd be great to see them. Have a great day. Bye.